TikTok informs its European users that their data can be accessed by employees outside Europe, including China, amid political and regulatory concerns about Chinese access to platform user information. On November 2nd, the Chinese-owned social video app updated its privacy policy to confirm that staff in countries like China can access user data to ensure their platform experience is consistent, enjoyable, and safe. Other countries where TikTok staff could access European user data include Brazil, Canada, Israel, Japan, Malaysia, the Philippines, South Korea, the US, and Singapore, where European user data is currently stored. Elaine Fox, TikTok's head of privacy in Europe, said that they allowed certain employees within their corporate group in several countries remote access to TikTok European user data. The countries include China, the US, Canada, Brazil, Israel, Japan, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, and South Korea. It was based on a demonstrated need to do their job, subjected to robust security controls and approval protocols, and by methods recognized by the GDPR, the EU's General Data Protection Regulation. TikTok used data to audit aspects of the platform, including the performance of its algorithms, which recommend content to users and detect vexatious automated accounts. In June, citing leaked audio from TikTok in-house meetings, BuzzFeed News reported that ByteDance employees in China had repeatedly accessed private information about US TikTok users. In July, TikTok admitted that it has engineering teams worldwide, including in Mountain View, London, Dublin, Singapore, and China. Those teams may need access to US data for engineering functions specific to their roles. In a disclosed letter on June 30th to 9 American senators, Shou Zi-Chu, TikTok's CEO, said foreign employees could view a narrow set of non-sensitive US user data if approved by the US-based TikTok security team. He also stated that no data was shared with Chinese government officials. The privacy policy update, which applies to the United Kingdom, the European Economic Area, and Switzerland, and goes into effect on December 2nd, comes amid political and regulatory pressure over the use of data generated by the app, which has more than 1 billion users worldwide.
Tonight, the U.S. sending a message to North Korea in the form of B-1 heavy bombers. The supersonic aircraft deployed to the region for the first time in 5 years, taking part in the final day of a vast U.S.-South Korean military exercise. The bombers are a response to an unprecedented barrage of missile tests by the North. More than 30 weapons fired this week, including 4 more today.
We are absolutely united in the face of these actions.
Kim Jong-un's regime says the real provocations are the U.S.-South Korean military drills. But with those drills now finished, will the North stop its escalation? Or are the missiles just a warm-up ahead of a possible North Korean nuclear weapons test? Kim halted his nuclear testing ahead of his 2018 meetings with Donald Trump, but the U.S. says he's now ready to restart them at any time. The North's most advanced missile, the Hwasong-17, capable in theory of striking with a nuclear warhead anywhere in the United States. America's defense, dozens of interceptor missiles positioned across the West Coast, including these at Fort Greely, Alaska. Tonight in Seoul, hopes that diplomacy might still find a way.
Would you like to see us talking more with North Korea?
Yes, talking more. I hope that the war will not happen.
A hope widely shared, even as tensions soar.
President Biden will be here in the region next week ahead of the G20, and there are concerns Kim Jong-un could use that trip as an opportunity for another provocation.
North Korea has fired 4 short-range ballistic missiles into the Western Sea, according to South Korea's military. The missiles flew an approximate distance of 130 kilometres at an altitude of 20 kilometres. The development may have been triggered by the United States aerial display of a supersonic B-1B bomber, which wrapped up an unprecedented joint Air Force drill with South Korea involving 240 warplanes. The launch is just the latest in a series of missiles from North Korea this week, including a possible failed intercontinental ballistic missile, drawing condemnation from Washington, Seoul and Tokyo. The missile launches have raised speculation North Korea could be readying for the presumption of nuclear testing for the first time since 2017.
After the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, Congress, the partnership between large state-owned enterprises and private companies is accelerating. According to a US-based news outlet, China's large state-owned telecom companies, including China Unicom, China Mobile, and China Telecom, have recently signed cooperation agreements with large private groups, including Tencent, JD.com, and Alibaba. On October 27th, the State Administration for Market Regulation disclosed on its website that a new joint venture between China Unicom and Tencent was unconditionally approved. The review was completed on October 18th. The newly established joint venture is focused on content delivery networks, or CDN, and edge computing. Following the transaction, China Unicom holds a 48% stake in the joint venture. Tencent owns a 42% stake, and the relevant employees have 10%. All parties claim that the new company does not involve a change in the parent company's equity. Still, there are worries that Tencent will be nationalized as a private enterprise. Similar concerns were raised after China Mobile and JD.com on November 1st also signed a strategic cooperation agreement related to data centers, cloud computing, big data, and network security. Wu Qiang is an independent political scientist in Beijing. He said that though this is a public-private partnership between large state-owned telecom companies and private enterprises, the era of the CCP's control of the economy has arrived. San Yu, a scholar in Hangzhou, added that the pace of nationalizing China's private enterprises is accelerating. The scholar expected that such public-private partnership models would be expanded to other areas next year. Some analysts pointed out that the cooperation between the two sides is based on their own needs. For example, Tencent needs China Unicom's sales channels, while China Unicom needs Tencent's products, technology, and experience. But Wang He, a commentator on current affairs, said that although there are commercial interests in the joint ventures between the major private enterprises and state-owned companies, it is also a performance of political achievements. Wang said this is a chaotic reform, but the authorities will never admit it. Li Hengqing, an economist in the United States, said that Chinese leader Xi Jinping wants the national economy to be entirely under the leadership of the CCP, because in the past few decades, private enterprises have played a more extensive and substantial role in the economy. The economist said that these private enterprises would slowly be cannibalized by large state-owned companies, one by one. He added that the private companies' assets would be mixed and reformed to state-owned companies, making them bigger and stronger, and becoming the CCP's world-class strategic state-owned players.
China's most important political meeting ended with the confirmation of an unprecedented third term in power for President Xi Jinping. The 7-member Politburo Standing Committee, that's the party's inner circle of power, comprises a new team of top leaders believed to be handpicked by him. Leading the lineup is the Shanghai party chief Li Jiang. He's expected to become China's next premier when Li Keqiang steps down next year. Also stepping down is top economic advisor Liu He. He's been replaced by He Lifeng, a longtime aide to President Xi.
The capability of the new economic team that is going to steer China's economy over the next 5 years. So that will be the main thing, of concern to businesses and investment